What we're going to do today is we're going to explain to you a little bit about what our pumper truck does here at Lee Summit Fire Department. We're going to tell you a little bit about some of the capabilities it has and the equipment that it has that we carry on these trucks. This is basically a toolbox for everything that we need on the fire ground and for the emergencies. What we have here obviously is going to be our driver's compartment. Everything that the driver needs to do can be handled from up here. They have all of their switches to turn on the water pump. They can direct any lights that they need. Anything can be controlled from up here. We have an intercom, fire comm system, so they can talk to everybody in the truck with their headphones on when there's sirens and a lot of loud ambient noise out there. So when it's time for a call, the captain's going to be sitting in this seat right here. The captain's going to make sure that everybody is ready to go in the pumper. The pumper's not going to move unless everybody has their seatbelt on, for one. Okay, so that's safety. Safety is number one. The captain has a lot of information right here. They have a computer right here. They can see the call, some of the notes for the call, what the call is actually involved, what dispatch has told us about the call will be right here. And there's also a map. They can see exactly where we're going. They have computers, headphones, radios to talk to all the other units that are responding to the emergency as well. So the captain is in charge of the truck. They want to make sure that everybody is safe. You won't see anybody without a seatbelt driving in the fire truck. Okay, so you guys should do the same thing. Don't get in your car or vehicle without putting your seatbelt on first. Okay. So what some people don't know is that we carry a lot of medical equipment on our pumpers. Okay, we're ALS certified pumpers. We have airway management systems. We have cardiac monitors. We have a full complement of medications for people who get sick. So we don't just put out fires. We have a lot of medications that we can give to people who do get sick. And that's why we have some of this medical equipment right here. Some people ask why we send an ambulance and a fire truck to the fire scene. The reason for that is there's more fire trucks than there are ambulances. Sometimes the ambulance will be out on another call. Okay, so we want to have the same amount of equipment and the same type of personnel, paramedic qualified personnel, on the pumpers that can come in and they can provide the same amount of care that an ambulance can do as well. Back here in the firefighter compartment, we can carry 2 more firefighters back here, and they have air packs. They have more equipment back here that they need. They have everything right here that they need to get off the truck and be ready to mitigate an emergency. If there's a fire, they're ready to get on with all their gear, their air packs, and if it's a medical emergency, they can have all their medical supplies and they'll be getting off to do that as well. A pumper truck is responsible for getting water to the fire. If there's a fire going on, one of the first things that we're able to do is to grab one of these right here. This is a pre-connected fire hose. It's connected to the pump, it's connected in here. All we have to do is we have to pull that out rapidly, quickly and efficiently, and then the engineer from this area right here will turn on that particular lever and that particular cross lay, and we'll have water right then and there. There's a lot of gauges, a lot of levers. It looks intimidating kind of, but once you go through the engineer school, you'll be able to, we have guys that get trained on this and they're able to cover all of this. And this is kind of the control panel for the truck. This is the engineer's compartment. He has all of his gear right here. We have some more nozzles, different things that we may need, different hoses. We have different adapters. If you have to go from a very large hose to a small hose, we can do that. He or she will have all of their gear right here, so when they get off the truck, they can come in here and put on their air pack and put on some of their PPE and their uniform, depending on what they need. In this compartment here, we have basically some search and rescue type equipment. We have some ropes. If somebody were to fall down a steep hill, we have some things here that we can hook up to those people, to that person, and we can use mechanical advantage and put a harness around them, say, and then we can pull them up the hill with the pumper crew. We can pull them up. We have some harnesses. We have different things. If we need to go down a steep incline to pick somebody up, we can use those things and then take those ropes that you see and we'll bring them out of there. So we have a lot of equipment that you can use for the pumper. It's not just hoses and water, okay? So we have some things here if we have traffic control. When you see the fire truck out on the highway, we're gonna have a lot of lights and a lot of things going on to get people's attention. We want people to be very careful. We want people to pay attention, slow down, and watch out for your firefighters, because we're there trying to help people in need, and we don't want you to be a part of the problem. Here on the end of the truck, we have our saws. We have you've probably seen these before, a regular chainsaw. This saw can be used for a number of different things. If you need to cut a hole in a roof, we can go ahead and we can do that. If we need to get some smoke out of there, we can cut down a door if we need to, or get into any areas that we need. If we need a chainsaw, that's one that we use right there. Also, we have a K12 saw. That's what we refer to it as a K12. And this blade right here, that's a diamond edged blade there. So that blade, you can see that there a little bit. That'll cut through basically metal, concrete. It'll cut through wood if you need to. Any type of thing that this chainsaw can't cut through, we use this saw right here, and that will get through just about anything that we need to. Now these big things that you see down here, this one right here, this is a fan. Now what happens if you're in a fire and that fire produces all that nasty black smoke? Okay, so this right here, it's like a lawnmower, but it has a big blade on the end here. We start that up and that fan will push all the smoke. We want to get that smoke out of your house. This is a battery powered fan. It does just the same thing. It does not put out any emissions whatsoever. It's quick, ready to go, quick deployment, and it's all battery powered. When we have to hook up to a hydrant, we're gonna need a lot of hose. We're gonna need a lot of large diameter, heavy hose. We pull this off here, and this part of the hose is gonna go to the fire hydrant, okay? So we'll pull this off, that'll connect to the fire hydrant. That's where the pumper gets most of its water. Okay. We have another pre-connected hose. Like I said before, this is a pre-connected hose to the truck. This is a 2.5-inch hose, puts out a little bit more water. And there's our straight stream nozzle already connected. The firefighter is gonna take off to the fire, and that's gonna be ready to go. The engineer gets the pump going, and they get it going right then and there. So more equipment, we have some ladders, a couple more ladders. We have an extension ladder and a roof ladder up there. So if we need to get on top of a roof, we'll use these ladders here. And this one here is an extension ladder. Can probably go to the second and reach third, fourth floor windows with these ladders. Have some more hose in these compartments. Like I said, it's a toolbox for anything that we might encounter. This is extra section, 100-foot section of hose. If we need to reach deeper into the house or deeper into the fire, we can grab that and go with that. We have a lot of compartments. We have a lot of compartments on our trucks. As you can see, there's tools everywhere. So we have some other tools here that we can use for pulling down ceilings, or if we need to go in and find out where the fire is, we'll use some of these tools right here. This is called a New York roof hook, okay? It's made basically for grabbing things, pulling them down, reaching into walls or ceilings, finding out where that fire is, because you don't know. Sometimes the fire will be behind a wall, or it'll be inside the wall, or it'll be in the ceiling, in the attic. And we need these type of tools, this one here as well, to get up there and find out where that fire is. So we have many more tools here in the fire truck. You guys might be familiar with some of these tools here. We use these tools here if there is going to be typically on a auto accident. Some people call these the jaws of life. That's a spreader and cutter right there. And what I talked about earlier is this is battery powered. That's a battery powered piece of equipment right there. Comes right off and it's ready to go. We have chargers in here already hooked up. That's quick and easy. We don't have the lines to be restricted on our distance for that. So we have this one here. We have a bigger one here. These are our cutters. What we do on these is we take these right here, these hoses right here, connect to this power plant, and this power plant produces power to operate these spreaders and cutters. If you have a car door or something that's smashed in, or a car that's smashed in, that'll cut right through that and open those doors right up. This is kind of our tool compartment here on this side of the truck, in this upper compartment. Obviously you can see that we do have our axe, okay? We have our axes, we have Halligan tools, basically for getting in doors, getting in a locked door somewhere. If you have anything that is reducing access for us, we want to go ahead and use some of these tools here to pry those doors open and to get in to put fires out or find out what the emergency is. Okay, this is another tool here. This is a sheetrock tool. You can pull sheetrock down when you're searching for fires. We basically have a lot of equipment for the 3 to 4 firefighters that are on this truck. This comes out. This is really cool. Okay, we have more axes. You guys probably know some of this here. This is our pick head axe. We have a sledgehammer, and we have some bolt cutters in case we need to get into something that's with a lock that we need to cut. So, a lot of tools there. Is our thermal imaging camera. This is a TIC. It's called a TIC for thermal imaging camera. Now what this does is this can see through the smoke, and it can see in the dark as well. It picks up the heat that he or she is putting off, and you can see exactly where they are. And that's what we use when we're in a smoke-filled building. We want to use this TIC to see through the smoke and find out where those people are at. So that's a pretty cool tool they have right there. We have another compartment. A few more compartments, and this is the captain's compartment. Whatever they need, their gear's right here. Their helmet, we have some extra air bottles too for our SCBA packs. So if we're fighting a fire, we go through and we go through a bottle of air. We have extra ones right here in case we need to keep working and keep going through that.
Hello everybody, I am Firefighter Rob. I'm going to show you guys the monitor. Okay, so this nifty little contraption is called the monitor. Does a whole bunch of stuff. We can take blood pressures with it. We can look at someone's heart when they have a sick heart. We can take pictures of it and send that to the hospital. It also lets us measure oxygen in the blood. Everybody has blood in their body. What the blood does, it does a whole bunch of stuff, takes nutrients to the body, but it also takes blood to the cells. So that's a big thing. So that's one thing we need to look at. It also has some pads. So these pads right here are for when someone's heart stops. We can shock them and hopefully get their heart started. And then we'll do CPR. We also have a bunch of little pads that we put on. This is what we use so we can take pictures of their hearts. With this one put together, we can take what they call as a 12 lead. That just takes 12 different pictures, angles of the heart to see how the electricity flows through it and see how the heart is pumping and working. This right here is what we stick on someone's finger, and this is what tells us how much blood or how much oxygen is in their blood. And then all that comes up onto the screen, and we'll look at it on the screen just like you see at your house, like when you're typing on the computer. And then this right here, we'll print out some squiggly lines, and medics will look at it and read it, and then we'll send that information to the hospital.
Hi, it's Firefighter Andrew here at Lee Summit Fire Department. What we're going to be looking at today is our bunker gear. Firefighter Jeremy, he's going to be putting on our bunker gear and show you the types of firefighting gear that we have when we go into a fire. What Firefighter Jeremy's going to do is he's going to get off the truck and he's going to go ahead and take off his boots there, and he's going to get into his bunker boots and his bunker pants. Now those boots are steel-toed boots, and they have steel treads on the bottom in case we step on any nails or drop something on our toes. They're very heavy-duty boots. That's where it starts. And then the pants come up, and that protects obviously his legs, his shins, his calves. That's going to be protecting anything on his legs. And he may have to get down and crawl quite a bit, and so he has protection in his knees and that kind of thing. You can see there he's got his suspenders. You got to hold up your pants when you're doing that. And he's got his hood on and putting his jacket on now. This gear weighs about 30 pounds, 35 pounds. And it's got thermal protection, it's got heat protection, and from steam and fire. Now Firefighter Jeremy's putting on his air pack. So when you go into a fire, you definitely want to be breathing the good air. You want to stay out of that smoke and that hot environment. So that's what firefighters use to breathe when they go in and look for people in a smoky house. He got his air pack on now, and he's getting ready to put his mask on. Now you hear that? He's turning on his bottle right there. And his voice emitter, so that you can hear. When fire scene's pretty loud when you have a lot of things going on there. So he's going to put on his mask so he can start breathing the good air. There you go, you can hear that. Do you kind of hear that breathing? What does he sound like? He kind of sounds like Darth Vader, doesn't he? Well, Firefighter Jeremy is a good guy. Darth Vader was kind of a bad guy. But Firefighter Jeremy is a good guy. He's going to be coming in there and he's going to be looking for you. If your house is on fire and it's smoky and hot, you guys have to get down on the ground. He's going to get down on the ground sometimes too. So he's going to get down on his hands and knees and he's going to be searching for you. You guys have to, boys and girls, need to stay out of that hot air. Get down low, and he's going to be calling out to you. He's going to be saying, fire department, you need help? See? He's going to be doing that. He's going to be looking all around. And if you hear somebody talking and yelling to you like that, you need to yell back and say, you need to say, help, help, I'm over here, I'm over here. You don't want to hide. You want to kind of stay somewhere and get to a window or something and be there where the firefighters can find you. When you're in the fire, if you're in the house, if you hear some beeping going off like that right there, we have alarms on our packs that let us know if somebody's hurt or can't move. These alarms will go off. Those alarms will go off and they'll tell other firefighters if their partner's not right by them or can't see them, it'll tell them when they're in trouble and they can't move, and those alarms will go off to help us look for them and help us find those. So that's called our pass device. Firefighter Jeremy here, when he has everything on in his bunker gear and everything put on correctly, there's no skin showing. There's no skin up here on his head, there's no skin here on his neck. His ears are protected, his hands, he's got his fire gloves on. Everything's connected there and everything's covered up. So when he comes in there, we have to really protect ourselves in that heat. Fires today can get really, really hot. And so we have to put on all this bunker gear, all this protective gear when we come in to look for you guys. So if you see somebody coming like this, they're there to help.